What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we have the massive roadmap for the Black Ops 7 update. So as you see here, it's massive. So there's a lot of things to go over and talk about today. So they talk about the beta. That's the first thing we go over. It says new mode, Overload. This is going to be available in the beta. This is the new icon, and it says fight for possession of the Overload device in this new push and pull 6v6 respawn mode that challenges teams to overload the enemy's control zones. Only one device spawns on the map at a time, so get in there and grab it before the other side can. The team in charge of the device must protect the carrier as they run towards one of the two designated zones near the enemy team's starting spawn. And then they have other announced modes. So we have TDM available in the beta, Domination also available in the beta, S&D, Kill Confirmed, Free For All, Gunfight, Kill Order, Control, alternate modes, and then they also provide some images. Face-off Domination, Face-off TDM, Face-off Kill Order, Kill Confirm, so it looks like Face-off is back as well. And then we have Skirmish. These are like the large 20v20 modes. They also showcase this clip here. It says, for larger scale multiplayer battles, nothing beats a good skirmish. And then it goes right here, the training course beta. So that helps you learn everything. And then there's also private match that'll be available. And then for the maps that we have, so you see here, there's some clips showcasing the new version of Hijack. It says there's a total of 18 different multiplayer maps. And then they give you some clips just to showcase what every single multiplayer map looks like a short clip of all of them. And these are all of the maps right here. I'm not going to list every single one of them, but you can see there's a whole lot of them. And then we have all the images. So Blackheart, Cortex, Exposure, Imprint. Some maps got their names changed. You could tell of the Forge, Toshin. You have Colossus, Den. There's Flagship here, Homestead, Paranoia, Retrieval, Scar, Express, Hijacked. Raid is back as well. And then Mission Edge for Skirmish, the 20v20 map. And then there's also Mission Tide. So I guess they're going to be calling them Mission whenever it's like the Skirmish 20v20 maps. And then here's the loadout and equipment that they pretty much go over and explain. So first off, this is the actual image of the loadouts and I guess the customization. You can see like the HUD has been completely changed and it looks so much different than what we're used to. It says loadouts determine the tools and abilities your operator brings into battle, including their weapons, equipment, field upgrades, perks, and other features. Players can customize and name up to 10 loadouts, which can be fine-tuned before and within the match, ensuring you've got exactly what you need for the combat situation at hand. And then the BO7 loadout menu, you got the primary, secondary, melee, and all of that stuff. And then this is the overclocks that they're showcasing here. So this is it says new to Black Ops 7 players can now customize their tactical and lethal equipment, field upgrades, and score streaks using the overclock system. Effective use of these individual loadout items will unlock up to 2 overclock abilities over time, providing a variety of benefits like a lower score cost for score streaks, decreased charge time for field upgrades, and extra lethality for your equipment. Select the overclock ability that works best for your playstyle and reap the rewards of even greater power. Check out the exact overclocks for individual equipment later in the blog. So here are the primary weapons. So they go in, they said your main weapons is like obviously the first class. In this case, they're showcasing the Peacekeeper here. The secondary weapons, the pistols, and as well as the launchers. This is pretty straightforward stuff if you played Call of Duty anytime before, pretty much. And then you have the melee weapons. So you have the Flatline MK2. This is like that baton that they showcased before, and it says all operators carry a dedicated melee. So that's returning, same thing that we have here in BO6, to where you got that dedicated melee slot. And then these are all the different tacticals that they showcase. So you have the stun grenade, the EMP grenade, the flashbang, the stim shot, the pinpoint grenade, the Psylocke grenade, and then additional tacticals. So Hunter Bot, a personal defensive device that hovers near and homes in on enemy equipment, field upgrades, and score streaks before exploding on impact. And then you have the lethals. So it says limited per life items. You have the frag grenade, which is the typical stuff. You have the sticky up here. You then get the cluster grenade right there, the combat axe, the point turret, needle drone. So it doesn't, and Yeah, right there. And then you have the C4 and then the Molotov. And then it tells you the different overclock abilities. So as you use this stuff and you gain new abilities and level it up, it gains new power. So the overclock 1, high density explosive material improves lethality. Overclock 2, increased throw distance, cooking shows and arc indicator. Sticky grenade does high density explosive material, so same sort of thing, and then adds ability to the cook fuse. So it just continues on. Each one of these gains their own additional powers and can get even stronger and better, pretty much. And then for the field upgrades that we have, so we have the assault pack. That's extra ammo and equipment to resupply your team. You then also get the drone pod, deployed device that launches aerial drones. Drones seek out enemies and explode. Trophy system, area defense system, and then active camo, become partially invisible for a short time. Echo unit, holographic soldier decoy, tricks enemies and captures and holds objectives. Squad link, deployed device that boosts score and improves effectiveness of allied operators and gadgets in the range. And then you have other field upgrades to choose from arriving at launch, including Scrambler, Field Trap, Black Hat, and Mute Field. And then these are what each of them do. And then once again, this is a showcasing of all of the different field upgrades. So field upgrades are pretty much back, and then they also added their twist to the futuristic stuff. Now, the wild cards actually look pretty crazy here. So there's some similar ones, like for example, Overkill. These are the ones that we've already had per Greed, Danger Clothes, except they just updated the way that they look completely. They look pretty crazy. And then you have them here. You have Gunfighter, Overkill, Perk Greed, and then additional wild cards coming in. You also have Specialist, replaces Scorestreaks with 3 additional perks on top of the ones you normally choose. This is something that was leaked for BO6, but it just never ended up happening, so it looks like it's going to be coming in here with this update. And then as for the perks that we have, so another image here showcasing multiplayer, and then perk slot 1. So this is what we have here. So the red ones, we have Gun Ho, we have Dexterity, and then Lightweight, that's a part of the Enforcer. And then a part of Recon, we have Lightweight, Cold-Blooded, and then Ghost. And then for the Recon side of things, we have, Strategist, Tech Mask, Flag Jacket, and then Shadow. Most of these are ones that we've already seen in the past before. There's a couple of new ones, but this is pretty much the same sort of similar stuff. And then perk slot 2, Scavenger, resupply ammo, assassin, enemies get on a kill streak get unique minimap marker, close shave, automatically use your dedicated melee attack when you perform a weapon butt attack, hunter's instinct, killing an enemy marks the direction of the next closest enemy, vigilance, blast link, engineer, fast hands, and then gearhead. These are the icons and what they look like, and then this is what they do. And then for perk slot number 3, we have tac sprint. Tac Sprinter enables tactical sprint but reduces your normal sprint speed. That's the perk that's pretty much new here. Bankroll, start each life with 150 score. Bruiser, melee eliminations and finishing moves replenish health and earn extra score. Looper, Enforcer, Vendetta, Recon, Tracker, Recon, Quartermaster Strategist, and then you have Charge Link Strategist, Guardian Strategist, and then going on we have the Combat Specialties coming in. So the 3 perks you select in your loadout determine your operator's combat specialty. Equip 3 perks from the same category to activate either Enforcer, Recon, or Strategist. New to BO7, players can now activate a hybrid combat specialty when pairing perks of different categories. As long as your loadout includes at least 2 perks of the same color, you're guaranteed to unlock a hybrid combat specialty. So this is what they look like here. You have Scout Specialty, Hybrid. It says any Enforcer Recon perk, any Enforcer Recon perk, and any Enforcer Recon perk. Offense and Stealth Hybrid. When you get a bullet elimination, stay completely hidden from enemy minimaps for 5 seconds. Additional eliminations during this period will also reset the timer. And then you also have the Tactician Specialty. So any Enforcer Strategist perk for 1, 2, and 3, and you get Support and Offense Hybrid, where you earn assists, earn bonus score from bullet eliminations for 10 seconds. And then the next one here, this is for any Recon or Strategist perk. You unlock the Operative Specialty. Stealth and Support Hybrid earn field upgrade charge from stealthy eliminations, suppress weapons, and melee eliminations. Eliminations while out of line of sight and in other cases count as stealth eliminations. And then you have Core Specialty, Enforcer, all the red perks. That's after each elimination gain a buff to movement speed. Then you got the Recon Specialty on respawn. See the direction of the closest enemy on the minimap Edge of the HUD pulses for enemies outside your view, leaves no death skulls. And then you have the green perks, increase score for objective and sabotage, deploy equipment faster. Now we jump into the actual weapons list that we have. So it says for assault rifles, here's what we have. The first one, M15 Mod 0. Then we have the MXR 17, the Peacekeeper MK1. For the SMGs, we have, they only showcase 2 of them. Expect 3 additional assault rifles to use at the launch of BO7. So they're just showcasing a couple of them here. And then we have the Graz 45K, the Dravik 45 here, full auto SMG, the Razor 9mm. And then they said expect 3 additional SMGs as well. On top of that, for the shotguns, the Ruler of Close Quarter Combat M10 Breacher, the Echo 12, and then additional shotguns will also be available. So these are the 2 that they showcase. Chances are the ones that you're seeing here may be available in the beta. And then LMGs, we have this one, which is the MK7A, and then there's also 1 additional LMG that's going to be available alongside this one. And then for the marksman rifles, this is what we have. The M8A1 returns. It's a 4-round burst marksman rifle, and then there's also going to be 2 additional ones that are going to be revealed. Then for the sniper rifles, we have the VS Recon, which is basically the DSR bolt action sniper rifle, and then alongside that we have the XR3 Ion. This is a 3-round burst sniper rifle with high power and low recoil but slower handling and a short pre-fire delay. There's also going to be an additional sniper rifle. For the pistols, we have the Jagger 45 semi-auto pistol, reliable sidearm with very fast rate of fire and low recoil. We have the Coda 9. This one is a full auto pistol with high damage, and then there's also going to be an additional pistol being showcased as well. And then as for the launchers, only 1 launcher was shown. That is the ARC or ARC M1 charge launcher. Hold the trigger, charge up devastating energy beam that can pierce through enemies, deals high damage to vehicles, and Scorestreaks. And then there's going to be an additional launcher. For the melee weapons, this is the Flatline MK2 that we saw earlier, and this has high damage and moderate attack speed. There's also additional melee weapons later on. And then the Gunsmith. So here's an image of what the Gunsmith looks like. MX17 assault rifle, and then you have the different types of attachments you could put on. So this is what the new upgraded HUD looks like. So it looks a little good, I'm not gonna lie, and it's like a little more futuristic, and it says different weapons, different classes. You guys know what a gunsmith is, right? So we're good on that. And then it says weapon customization. You have weapon build codes. So this is the new system to where if you say you build a new class and you have like the meta loadout, instead of having to share all the attachments, you simply just share a code. As you see here, it's like super small, but there's letters that you put in, and then it'll automatically input and then give you that automatic class. So you don't have to copy every single attachment. Just get the code from a friend or from a video and you'll be good to go. So that's what that does. And then the firing range returns, allowing you to test different weapons and weapon builds on a variety of targets. Then you have the Scorestreaks. So they showcase one of them here. Then you have the Scout Pulse for the beta. That is pretty much like the UAV, but the Scout Pulse. Lower score cost, radar ping shows directional. RCXD beta, that's also going to be available there. The UAV going to be available in the beta. The skewer available in the beta. You have the care package, the counter UAV. LGM, it says launch a continuous bombardment of explosive shells as a target at a targeted area. You then get the napalm strike, launch a targeted carpet bomb strike of explosive napalm. Sentry turret, automated turret that scans for and attacks nearby enemies in a front-facing cone. You then have Hellstorm, control a long-range cruise missile with boost capabilities and secondary missiles. You have the hand cannon, powerful large caliber handgun. You have the grave marker. This is the beta. So it's like a score streak. Assemble a portable one-hit kill sniper rifle that can reveal and eliminate targets behind the cover. That is actually insane. And then you also have the overclock abilities for it. Then there's the dog, deployable armored weaponized ground craft featuring a large caliber turret and rocket pod. Then you have the interceptors, calling a group of 5 jets to destroy enemy flying targets. You have the watchdog helo, which will also be available in the beta. Close air support escort chopper that pings and attacks enemies in your area. The HKD in the beta. Aerial deliver wheeled hunter killer drones which seek targets and explode. The Rhino available in the beta. Remotely control and armored robotic soldier equipment with equipped with deadly minigun, VTOL warship available in the beta, control VTOL warship, armored with a turn and air to land missiles. You also have the HARP, high altitude recon vehicle, reveals enemy position and direction on the minimap in real time. EMP system, massive electromagnetic pulse, weapon disrupts enemies and destroys all hostile equipment. You have the Legion. This is a large autonomous drone cluster, patrols all the skies, automatically seeking targets and exploding on impact. And then these are pretty much all the score streaks. And then you have omni movement and innovation. So wall jumping, they showcase some images of wall jumping. It's pretty straightforward about like the wall jumping feature. You just run towards the wall and then you press X or jump on it and then you jump off. Yeah. So then you have optional tactical sprint. So they've taken a close look at feedback and made tuning adjustments across the board for more control of the experience, including the removal of tactical sprint, a limited duration boost of speed, allowing faster movement than standard sprint as a default movement option instead, and the ability can be granted through the perk that we talked about earlier. Then you have grenade body shield finisher. So this is what this is. Yeah, so that was the clip of that. And then the body shield mechanic introduces in Black Ops 6 as an entertaining and is practical. And then you have the operators that are going to be available. So you have JSOC, the Guild, showcasing JSOC and the Guild. These are all the different operators. You have 50-50, Anderson, Carver, Dempsey, Falconer, Gray, Grimm, and then Harper. You have Jurado, Kagan, Karma, Mason, Maya, Nikolai, Razor, and Reaper. These are the characters. I'm going to have like another follow video to go in more detail. We have Richtofen, Samuels, Takiel, Ted, Vermac, Weaver, Wei Lin, and Zaveri. These are the ones. And then progression, classic, prestige. So more images here. Level unlocks now across more modes. Players can gain level XP in multiplayer, campaign, zombies, Dead Ops Arcade, and at Season 1, Warzone. Prestige and Prestige Master, the classic Prestige system is back in Black Ops 7. And they have, yeah, so 10 Prestiges, typical stuff. And then we also have the weapon prestige system. So weapon prestige 1 through level 50, then again, and then again, weapon prestige master, and then the level unlock. So you get attachments resets, and then you also get rewards. So you get things like charms and a weapon camo each time you prestige. And yeah, this is everything that goes through. And we've talked about this in the past before. And then here is the other image showcasing multiplayer. You get calling card challenges, daily challenges, weekly challenges coming back. Weapon camo is going to be available. And then they also go through an overview. For the first time ever, a campaign will have weapon camo journey. So pretty much same sort of challenges as the mastery, except you're going to be able to get camos. And it looks like from this blog, they're not showing what the camos look like. So we're going to have to wait a little longer. And then they have the statistics, profiles, things like that, and then additional comms. So these are the beta dates. They changed the artwork, but the dates are still exactly the same. So from the 2nd to the 5th is early access, and then from the 5th to the 8th. And yeah, this is pretty much everything you need to know about Black Ops 7 multiplayer. Hopefully I'll be seeing you guys back on the channel again. Peace.